Let's say 1. Okay, I think this is the new one. It says starting soon. I am going to put that in the... I don't know if you guys got the... I don't know if this is yet. What does that say? What does that say? What does that say? Oh, I hear something. And we're live! Welcome to the OUYACast, episode 47, recorded on Sunday, February 8th, 2015. This is your weekly source for the latest news, games, and hacks for OUYAns everywhere. I'm Brandon from OUYAcentral.tv.
And I'm Steve from OUYAbrew.com. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 47. Is that what you said?
Yep, 47.
I'm getting too old, man. I can't even keep my my mind wrapped around these numbers anymore. I'm getting too high up there. But we're trying a new technology today after almost a year of being on the air with OUYAcast. Brandon, what are we doing today?
We are trying a new service out that we won't let you know that it did mess up, but it's working better than YouTube does for us for the most part. But
so far,
we're using Skype, and today we have a special guest of developer with us, Eldon McGinnis. Go ahead and say hello.
Hey, how you guys doing out there?
Out there in OUYA land.
Yes.
But yeah,
man.
So we're one episode away from our anniversary on the OUYAcast. And
so Brandon, what did you get me?
What did I get you? Same
thing. It's our anniversary.
Same thing I got you last year.
Oh, nothing, huh? All right, that's cool.
We'll see what. Hopefully OUYA will give us something for our anniversary, you know? No.
There you go.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. They did hook us up for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the OUYAcast, and if this is your first time listening or watching live, welcome. And
in case you're wondering what the hell is this, well, we are a group of enthusiastic OUYA fans. We each run our own sites. I run OUYAbrew.com, and Brandon runs OUYAcentral.tv. Every week we try to talk about OUYA-related stuff and have guest developers on. We talk about games, we talk about upcoming OUYA events, that kind of stuff. Today is a developer episode with Mr. Eldon McGinnis, who is going to be talking about on-screen alerts. Is that right, Eldon?
That is correct.
Yep.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And we'll get into that just a little bit later after we do our normal review about, was it sales? We got any sales this week?
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of sales this week. Let me tweet this out real quick. And, well, because did I give you the link yet?
I didn't see it. I was waiting on you to tweet it out.
All right. So, we have It'll Do on sale this week, and I'm not too sure how much it is because I already purchased it, but it's 30% off until February 10th, which is this Tuesday. Go ahead and pick that game up on sale. It's a pretty good game. What other game is on sale? I thought it was on sale. Yeah, Heroes of Many, that was on sale for 50% off last week, is good until this Tuesday also. Let's pick that up game up for $2. Also, Rush Hour Mayhem is on sale for 50% off until February 16th, so you have 2 weeks to pick that one up for $2. He's recently updated some new features and stuff in that game. And also Gravity Gods on sale for 50% off, and doesn't say until when, so it could be 50% off indefinitely. New price reduction or something. In the normal mode, fully unlocked for free, and you can help support the developer for 99 cents.
That's a good price for that game. I really enjoyed Gravity Gods.
Yeah. We talked about it before on probably one of our beginning episodes of the OUYAcast. And
Yeah.
let me see. Also, if you are into modding, you can pick up Booty Call and on-screen alerts for 20% off of those two apps. And Eldon, go ahead and tell us what you have planned for other apps that you come out with.
Well, in the future, I've had a number of people approach me with different ideas. One person was asking about an alternative store type situation, where you could not only have the Ouya store, but also have your own list of applications that was basically based on a XML file you could throw in Dropbox or wherever you'd like. And you'd point your application towards that URL, and it would give you a list of applications you could download to your Ouya. Basically, an easier way to make side loading possible. Guys over at the OUYA forum website, they kind of gave it a name, and I'm probably going to run with it. It was called Booty on the Side, playing along with the whole booty call thing. But that was one of them that was thrown my way, and I plan on doing that. It's kind of tentative right now with scheduling and whatnot, but I definitely plan on getting on that. And I have actually a couple of devs have contacted me with they want a way to do trophies and rewards and stuff like that, where it has the little pop up, much like I do with on-screen alerts. So I might actually be putting together a small little library to do that, assuming it's not in the next mysterious OTA that everyone keeps hinting to.
Right. Awesome. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
So you can pick in his bundle is going to be on sale indefinitely. He has no.
Yeah, that's a permanent bundle.
Awesome.
No time frame. If you want to buy one, you can get them both, because I want to make it easy for modders to pick up a collection of good applications, and any new applications I come out with, I plan on bundling 2 applications at a time. That way you can kind of get a discount, for helping me out, at the end of the day.
Right. Awesome. And then the other bundle that's on sale that's fairly new this week is the Robo OUYA bundle, and this is an awesome sale. 60% off of these games until February. It Stop the Bots, Magnetic by Nature, Twin Robots. They're all great games, and you have if you don't have those games, that's the awesome bundle to pick up for $7.99. I think Magnetic by Nature is by itself is $9.99. Hello.
I'm here.
Oh.
Oh no.
Hey, Eldon, tell us a little bit more about your on-screen alerts.
Well, on-screen alerts basically it's actually an older application. It was my first application I wrote that was for the OUYA, but I never released it in the store initially. But after Booty Call was released, OUYA store, I think it was end of November-ish, somewhere around there. I think it was. I could be switching that in Booty Call. I can't remember. My memory's terrible on things like that. But how it came about was myself. I like being able to see caller ID notifications or email notifications or things like that come up on my TV. That way I don't have to, I'll admit it. I have a little bit of a lazy streak. I don't want to get up and look at the phone to see who's calling me. If I have to get up and look at it and I'm watching a good show, I'm probably just not going to answer. So that's kind of how that works out. But so I wrote this application in order to give everyone an interface, a way to do that, to hook into your OUYA and show all these different alerts on your TV. And recently I integrated push bullet support into it, which really opens it up to a huge number of uses outside of just the immediate things that you would think of, such as text messaging on your phone. You can see who's texting you. You can follow RSS feeds and see when somebody's posted something new. Oh goodness, you can be alerted on a certain time and date. You can have a message show up on your TV when the weather's changing. All kinds of good stuff. Again, it really adds a little bit to it, because you're in the middle of your game or whatever, or you're watching a TV show in Cody. You still want to keep going with what's going on around you, but you don't necessarily want to have to stop your game, or worst case scenario, exit your game to see what's going on.
Right. Awesome.
That's pretty cool. And now you've included that in this new bundle here that we were talking about earlier, correct?
That's correct. Both of my OUYA store applications are in that bundle. Booty Call and Modder's Delight. I'm sorry, Booty Call and On-Screen Alert. The bundle is called Modder's Delight, and it's actually a 20% discount off of the total price.
Now, aside from those two, I also noticed that you've been pretty active in especially the modding areas of the OUYA on OUYA forums. I know that the site that I find you on the most is the progressivethink.in.
Yep,
And
that's
you've done a lot of
actually
stuff
my
like
site myself.
Okay, well that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't
Yep.
it? So I noticed like you got your reroute app, backup OUYA save games, that kind of thing. So you're doing a lot of stuff for the OUYA community in terms of in terms of getting mods made and hacks, so to speak. Not anything, obviously when you think of hacking, there's a stigma that goes with that. But you're definitely helping the community and helping us alter the OUYA in a way that works for us.
All right.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't find out about the OUYA until after the Kickstarter had ended and everything. So I was really heartbroken that I didn't get to kick in a little bit and help it come into being. So when I started seeing some of these things that people wanted, some functionality that people wanted, and I had to know how to do it. I figured why not? If I couldn't help there, I'll help now. Get things going the way people wanted them to work on the device. Until maybe OUYA later on figures to put it into the firmware or something. But in the meantime, all those tools, the extra ones outside of the OUYA store, I do make available on my site for free for people to use, like Reroute, the OUYA backup script. There's also a USB mounter, so if you have applications you're trying to sideload, that doesn't work out too well if you're trying to use USB for that. I have a script that'll actually do that for you. It'll allow you to sideload those games onto your OUYA, move it to USB, and do all that good stuff. And again, those are all free.
Right. And tell us about that that script that you're trying to incorporate to give to developers to inform the people that downloaded their app that they have a recent update. I noticed something on your site about that.
Yeah, the version checker library. Yeah, I actually wrote a and again, this came from just out of need purely with Booty Call. I wrote a small library that people can use if they have if they're using Java itself on their development end. They can actually include this library and hook into it, and it'll check the OUYA store for a new version of their application, and then they can in turn notify the users, say, hey, there's a new version of your application available. They could forward the user to the OUYA store, so they at that point can download the update, or they could even just give them a little quick notification, hey, there's a new version, and then keep rolling. That way the person could then download it at their convenience.
Awesome. Now, so if they were to implement this code, do they have to have on-screen alerts, or is it part of in the OUYA framework?
No, they do not need on-screen alerts to do the update the version checker library. That is not needed for the that on-screen alerts is not needed for that. That's actually just a library that allows you to hook into the OUYA website, their API that they have available, and it parses out the version number, takes the application version number, compares them, and just gives you basically a true or false, programmer lingo here, gives you a true or false as to if there's an update available or not. And at that point, it's up to the developer what they want to do with that information. Wow. They can, like I said, they could refer the user to the OUYA store, directly jump right to their application page. They could, just give a little pop-up, hey, there's a new version, and then keep going. It's really up to them.
Awesome. Now, I noticed earlier this week someone was asking about that same type of question on Twitter. I was trying to find it. They were asking OUYA support if there was something like that, and I was like, I thought of you because I know you were working on that. That was awesome.
Yeah. I've seen a number of people, and that's actually something I've asked a lot of developers initially. Was why don't you guys give us a way to know that there's something new, because not everybody uses the OUYA launcher as their default launcher, of course.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's not always the most up to date thing. For whatever reason, the tile may not be showing the update icon, or whatever the case may be. And that just seemed like a really good idea that nobody was doing at the time.
Wow. I know. What was I gonna say? Just had a brain fart.
Is that what that smell is?
No, I don't think you can smell it.
Smell-o-vision.
That's the next feature that Ouya's gonna implement. No, I was gonna say, I don't know if there's a way that Ouya can maybe incorporate it into their SDK, that if there's an update, it just pops up and informs people that there's an update for that game or that application.
Yeah, it definitely could be done. I mean, it's just a simple matter of calling back to the Ouya servers, and I've actually mentioned that in the forum. And I don't quote me on this. Of course, I am putting up on the internet, so I'm kind of quoting myself at this point. But I think Jared was there one time when we were talking about it, and he thought it would be an interesting idea.
All right.
So who knows? Maybe it'll work its way in there. That really would be great, though.
All right. Yeah, no, he said there's a new version of OTA that's coming out, so maybe they might incorporate in that. There's tons of stuff that we're waiting to come out on the OUYA, and also waiting on the OUYA 2. Hopefully, it comes out this year. We got to throw that in there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what this Chinese market brings to us too. That should be interesting.
Right.
The new expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. We had talked briefly
last week.
About we talked about the last week we talked about the emerging console market in China and how OUYA was going to be a part of that. And I had mentioned how they have kind of their own subculture, and it would be interesting to see what kind of games they brought, but I hadn't really thought about it until just now about what kind of hacks and mods and applications that that they might bring to the table as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I mean that would be great. That's that's one thing that I love doing with my OUYA is modding it. Getting it to do things that it didn't necessarily do to begin with. All in the spirit of making it your own device. And I think that market over there would have a huge number of ideas or possibilities that OUYA could run with. Hopefully, the big thing is going to be localization, though, because I know a lot of people will kind of not get on the train of installing something they can't necessarily read. So hopefully, there will be a little bit more localization support too added in, because I'm kind of curious to see how. I got the developer email from OUYA, and they were talking about localization, and I'm wondering if they're going to offer any type of help localizing their current applications into simplified Chinese or whatnot, because that's a very I don't want to say niche, but it's not anybody I know knows simplified Chinese, so that would definitely be something I'd have to go out seeking a translator for.
All right. You can always go to Google.
Oh God,
Yes.
no! Start getting those crossover language pack things that translate so horribly.
Yeah, well, we'll end up with a whole new all your base are belong to us, right?
Exactly. Oh my God! Please no.
Yeah.
So I know you had said what other people wanted to maybe see you develop in the future, like you said, the alternate store and all that. If you could see, something come to the OUYA that maybe you yourself don't feel like you are comfortable with, or don't have the skill to develop, or you need like a larger team to develop, perhaps, what would you like to see as like a really big, long-term project?
That is a good question. That is a very good question. Well, let me start out with this. There is one feature that I have been begging OUYA to let developers get access to, and that is access to that in-game overlay. Basically, the menu where you see exit, turn off controller, OUYA home, things like that. I would so love, and this is something that's beyond my control, unfortunately. I would love for OUYA to have some sort of a way for developers to add their own links to that menu. And the reason behind that is it would open up a huge access point to other applications that could then run in the background. For example, music players. Say you wanted to have music playing in the background. Right now, you can already do that, but the problem is you have no way to pause the music. You have no way to skip tracks, none of that. But if you could integrate a link into that overlay that says, playlist or music, and you click on that and it brings up another overlay, you could then skip through tracks and play different things, pause your music, all without leaving your game and having to start over. Another thing that I was talking to Killswitch about was, in-game walkthroughs and stuff. Somebody could make an application to show walkthroughs for games. It could pick up the information as to what the current application running is, look for a walkthrough, and display it over top of the game. That way, you get stuck playing, Pure Solar or something. You look it up real quick. Oh, I'm here. This is where I need to go next. You hit A to exit out of it and keep going with your game instead of now having to, exit your game, look it up, things like that.
That's actually pretty smart idea. And I know this isn't quite exactly what you were saying, but it would also be kind of interesting if you could kind of use, like you said, your overlay as well. So like let me just bring it up here so I don't sound 100% stupid. So when I am in a game here, let's play whatever I have most recently on tap. Race for Your Life. Okay. So I'm playing Race for Your Life. I hit the
OUYA button.
The OUYA button. And now we've got that overlay just like you said, and it shows you may also it shows you your links at the bottom. But overall, the aesthetics of it is pretty basic. You just have your gradient that goes from straight black on the left-hand side where it says System Menu, and it kind of gradients out to the background of the game behind it. Now, if, for example, like you were saying, maybe you could do something like change the graphics even, something as simplistic as that, where if they don't want you to change the links on it, at least maybe you can add your own custom graphics as long as they retain, the links on it. Like Race for Your Life could have a checkered flag, or maybe even a pre-programmed game going in the background or something, so it still looks like you're part of that game without it being, just very sterile looking kind of color.
Gotcha. A lot like skinning or theming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, that is one thing. That's another thing that a lot of people have been asking for is some way to theme the OUYA interface, the OUYA launcher and store specifically.
Right.
Yes, and there's a lot of custom OUYA launchers that'll do that. The problem with most of them is you don't really have access to the OUYA store, and those that provide you with access to the OUYA store, it takes you out of the launcher just specifically to go to the OUYA store because there's no integration there,
Right, and not only that, but remember you don't have the purchase option and whatnot unless you're actually in the application you're buying or you're in the OUYA store or that overlay. Other than that, you don't have access to actually purchasing applications, because I considered writing my own overlay to basically resolve that issue, which can be done. But then I came back to the problem of, well, I don't have any way, say I'm playing a game that is a demo and I want to buy the game. I can't just hit the home button twice, the OUYA button twice, and hit click purchase, because your application as an overlay wouldn't have that privilege.
Right.
So it's one of those things that's definitely going to need an OUYA collab on in order to get that off the ground.
Right. Well, shout outs to our live listeners and live viewers.
Rosie.
What's up, Rosie? He said that he'll love custom themes for the system menu. And I'm hoping that in this next OTA that they allow us to add our custom wallpapers. Come on, OUYA.
Yeah,
you can do it. You had over a year to work on it. We've been talking about this on the OUYAcast probably since the beginning. There's hacks and mods to do it, but come on, OUYA, give it to us.
See, right now the background's located in the launcher, which I know that since it's based off of an Android platform, that there's got to be another way to do it, because you don't rebuild your launcher every single time you change your background on your tablet. Your Android-based tablet, that is. So there's definitely a way to do it. That's the one thing, like theming and skinning and all that. I can kind of see their point on that to a degree, but the background image I have not understood yet whatsoever. That seems like the most basic thing that you should be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. The theming is something, especially like you said, the background image. That's something that a lot of people want. And it wouldn't be that bad to integrate. I mean, they already have the web services in there because they pull the special wallpaper from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there was a developer, Incognito Man, I think was his name. He actually had a custom ROM that allowed you to pull from your own web server different images, so you could throw one up there and it would pull it automatically, things like that. So it's definitely doable. Just a matter of a little bit of cooperation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're probably working on different stuff. I guess it's depends on where it's at on the priority list. But I remember on the OUYA forums that there was a concept artwork of your launcher with your custom backgrounds, and like every time you select a game, that the background changed to that thumbnail in full HD. So it was pretty neat. Also, you had like a little picture with your like your avatar picture for your gamer tag, and then also like the time in the top right hand corner. So there's
those are all different things. Yeah, those are all great things. And again, that's another one of those projects that's kind of just on the back burner. I started it, I just haven't had enough time to really devote to working on it. And again, with the OTAs, I don't want to start working in a direction and then OUYA turn around, hey, by the way, we gave you this. It's like, man, you couldn't have done that 2 months ago while I've been working on this. Seriously. So as they keep coming, every time I go to work on it, they're like, oh, by the way, there's a new OTA coming. I'm like, really? Really? I mean, not that don't get me wrong, I love the OTAs, but really.
That reminds me of, like, I forgot what company it was. They people in the hacking mod, they would do stuff, and like the company, I forgot what company it was, that it could have been Google, that they actually took that whole same idea and just incorporated it into their OS. It was funny. So I mean, I had actually, and I hate to take up all your time, but I had one more idea that I wanted to run by you guys. I was telling Killswitch and I can't think of the other one's name, Rioting Spectre, I think it was, on the OUYA forum. I was telling them, you know how they have the Free the Games fund. Remember that one? Right.
Well, I was telling them, they should have something similar, but for applications and modifications. They should have developers. They should reward developers that do modifications and things like that, and say, you know what, this is a really good application. A lot of our user base loves it. How about, instead of you selling individual license, we give you a volume license and we just buy it out and for everybody. Awesome. I was like, that would be great. Then they could integrate it to their ROM. Wouldn't have to worry about licensing for everybody. Just like almost like a free the apps fund or something.
Right, like a hackathon. Hack the OUYA.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. I mean, so many ideas. So many.
Wait. There's one more idea that you actually can incorporate into developers can use right now with on-screen alerts. Tell us about the way that they can incorporate achievements in their game, and actually with the on-screen alerts have it pop up on the OUYA. You told me about that yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. For the customers that actually have the gamers and customers that have on-screen alerts, developers could hook into it right now if they wanted to, because it actually listens not only by push bullet, but it also listens for UDP packets. So what you could do as a developer, and Tozalil was asking me about it with Construct 2. Unfortunately, I just wasn't familiar enough with it. I'm still looking into it at this point. But what you could do is just, when a gamer reaches a certain point or a certain level or does something specific, you could fire off a message to on-screen alerts. All you'd have to do is one UDP packet, formatted very easily. They're very simple formatting. And then at that point, it would show up on the screen, on the overlay, that, hey, you did this, that, and the other. And I'm completely open to adding new icons. So if you are a developer and you are interested in that, please let me know. I have no problem adding new icons to the packaging, and giving you the information you need in order to use it.
Awesome.
And just to add to that, a quick Google search, because I know Tozil listens pretty regularly to the OUYAcast. But if you do a quick Google search for UDP packet construct 2, one of the very first things is a work in progress that somebody had added a plugin, it looks like, to construct 2 that will allow you to format and send out a UDP packet pretty simply once you get the plugin there. So that,
nice.
I mean, Tozil, if and I'm sure you'll listen to this, man, you could be the first person to integrate your achievements into your game using on-screen alerts, and
definitely
that would be a very nice add-in, and it would be a first on OUYA. So I say go for it, man.
Awesome. He's in the chat. He said UDP OSA game. Congratulations, you won 100 coins.
There you go.
And then Rosie said, "This whole episode is baffling my mind, but I'm enjoying it." And
Well,
then,
I'm glad to hear that.
okay, the only problem Tozil says is that the problem with that plugin, it doesn't work on Cocoon JS. That's the wrapper for Construct 2.
But I'm pretty
Ah,
sure
okay.
now. Didn't Tim Grotman make a direct exporter without going through Cocoon, or is that just a plugin to make it a little easier?
Oh, his plugin, it wraps it with Chromium, which is, I guess, the web archive, something like that.
Yeah,
There's
the
different
Chromium. If I
there's
go
different
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's just different wrappers to wrap your HTML code in. So go ahead and probably correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh no, that's I was just gonna say the thing that Tim put out was basically it allowed you to dump your HTML5, your JavaScript and whatnot right into an APK. So I don't know, I haven't done any type of HTML5 programming with Android to see how that works out. But I don't know if you need to use Cocoon or anything of that nature. Tozlil will probably know a lot better than I would, though.
Yeah, he's using the Cocoon JS. I think if you really want your game to be, OUYA everywhere, which pretty soon it's gonna be everywhere, all over China, I would think you would want to use Tim Groutman's method because it incorporates the OUYA everywhere SDK. So if you can put your games on the Mad Catz Mojo, and those buttons for those controllers will actually show up as the icons instead of the OUYA buttons, so people will be familiar with your game and with their controller in your game to kind of match the system that it's on. So yeah.
Good point.
So I know Tim Groutman shows pretty much how to, pack it, sign it, take all your HTML5 code and we talked about it previously. If you go to our Construct 2 episode, there's some links in the description that Tim points out, and I meant to tell you, Steve, that we got a comment on that episode and said Tim Groutman said that was an excellent episode to learn Cocoon JS. I mean Cocoon Construct 2.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably being facetious because that the thing about that episode is it was done with the best of intentions, and I really thought we wouldn't have any roadblocks. But any programmer knows it doesn't matter how much you try to make it smooth going, you're gonna run into something. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. But I've been thinking about actually redoing that and just kind of making a video tutorial on how to make that simple game because one thing about Construct 2 is that and perhaps ClickFusion are probably two of the easiest engines to use, and that's not saying anything in a bad way. What it is it's a good stepping stone. If you use that and you become really, really good at it, then you want to move on to something like Unity, or if you just want to break open Notepad and start scratch coding from JavaScript or something. There's so many possibilities, but I guess I was trying to make it a real easy one, and didn't really work out, unfortunately.
It's all right. It's all right. We got a point across.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't try to rush it to an hour. That's the point.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it confined to a limited time. Don't want to drag it on. And
there you go. What's going on, Brian? We see you on the chat, man.
Yeah, I think this is a better way of doing this so we can see what's going on and try not to miss anything. He said he's not looking forward to localization.
Really?
I guess it's...
Why is that, out of curiosity?
Tozil asked him why.
Oh, now he's on the spot. Now everybody wants to know.
We want to know. Oh, because
he has a ton of texting game. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So his concern, if I'm reading this right, is that he doesn't want to translate high text games into multiple languages. I guess I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely is a little bit of a workload, especially if you have a lot of text. Yeah.
Right.
Coming soon to the OUYA Zork. Some of you will get that. If you're not, look it up. That was one of the first games I ever played. Totally text. I think it was like 1982, maybe. Oh God, yeah, that would be a nightmare. I can understand it.
I know you. Yeah, yours would require a lot of work too. The game that you're working on, Ships Go Boom. You have a lot of dialogue in it.
Yeah, that one, and it's got a lot of voice overlays too. Which one of these days I will get that out and release to everybody.
Yeah. Well,
It'll happen.
I know. Yeah, we're anticipating it. That was part of our. I know my New Year's resolution. I wanted to just come out with a game on the OUYA. It's something not too simple, but nothing too hard, because I just want to be able to, do it in Construct 2 and just publish it and see how the process is going through all that and learning all the different derps and stuff that OUYA always talks about on their developer hangouts. Don't lose your store key.
Yes,
that's the thing.
Don't lose that.
I think, Eldon, you could probably agree with this. Really, it's just getting it out there, because think about the Google Play Store. You've got tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of games, if not more, millions maybe by this point. I don't even know. And there's obviously your top games, and there's the games that will never again see the light of day. But at least you tried and you got it out there. And Eldon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think that that's probably, as a developer, the most important thing is just to do what you got to do to get it out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want to get your game or application out there, and you do want it to be polished. You don't want to have any glaring errors or anything of that nature, but you do want to get it out there, and make sure you keep the word going about it. I think that's probably the number one danger that a lot of devs fall into, is that they publish their application, they tell 2 or 3 people, thinking that the internet's going to do the work for them, and it falls flat on its face. Best game in the world, man. But if you don't get your name out there, if you don't continuously try to keep current with the community and let them know that it's still there, or what you've added, or whatever the case may be, it's just not going to do very well. I mean, granted, there are the odd cases that do, but when you weigh the odds, you're probably not going to be one of those odd cases that doesn't need advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Very well said.
And the way that social media is nowadays, you start something and then other people pick on and just share it and share it and share it. All the Facebook, Twitter. There was a recent video I saw on YouTube. There was a developer. He spent zero money in advertising, and he's making millions off of, like, I forgot the game. I can't even remember. It's running from me.
If you say Flappy Bird, I swear to God, this is over.
I had the same thought in my mind.
No, it wasn't. Oh, you guys are gonna make me try to find it now. Oh man.
While you're finding it, Tozio wants to know if you plan on translating. I know you kind of touched on it very briefly, but if you're planning on translating your apps into any other languages. He said Chinese, but I'm curious if you're going to translate it into anything else.
I have every intention of translating it into anything I can get my hands on. I was actually talking to Tozilo the other day on Facebook, and he was telling me that I should add a drop down into my applications to allow users to pick a language that even the OUYA doesn't support. I've had people offer me translations from everything from Swedish. I mean, Booty Call has English, Spanish, French, German, Italian in it. On-screen alerts is well on its way to covering all the big five for the OUYA. I've had somebody offered the other day to translate on-screen alerts into Greek. There's a huge number of languages people are just throwing at me, but unfortunately, without it in the OUYA, there isn't any way to easily and uniformly access the language. So I'm actually going to have to build in a language selector into my applications to allow more than just the standard languages in there.
And is that something that you feel as a developer is going to be beneficial to you in that there's going to be a big enough demand for it? Or do you think that, it's more of just like I don't want to put. I'm trying not to put you on the spot, to make you sound bad. But do you feel it's more like an appeasement thing? Like, here you go for the three of you that want to use it, enjoy.
Well, I think, I thought about that the other day. Me and my wife were talking about that, and I think it's more of a respect thing. The people that buy my applications, if they feel that other people are going to use it, I respect their opinions. So I'm going to try to go ahead, and as long as it's not profanely complex or going to take me, a couple years to figure out, I have no problem sitting down a couple of days, putting something together, and getting it going for them.
Well, see, I get what you're coming from there because what's that tribe that only uses clicks to talk? You should, try to translate into that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, the OUYA did not understand. Could you please click again? Yeah, that would be horrible. Get some
Nice,
Siri
man.
voice going on there. I'm sorry, what?
I don't think so. So, Brandon, did you come across that game?
No, it's running from me. I was trying to look it up. Can't think of it, and I'm trying to look at my YouTube history if maybe it's in there. Cause I remember seeing it.
Toziel says, what was it? He said something. Where'd it go? Every time they talk, it scrolls the whole feed back down, so it's kind of
Stop talking.
something Freddy 5, something or other.
Oh, Freddy got fingered 5. I think I seen something about that earlier today too. I'm not sure what that person was even asking, but I remember somebody saying that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if it was that one.
Some of Five Nights. Yeah.
Hmm.
What is it? Now I'm looking at it. I can't even.
And I think that game is on Android and PC. The Freddy game.
Five Night at Freddy, or Five Night at Freddy's. That's what they called it.
It's something with like a teddy bear. I don't know.
Oh, totally off subject. But speaking of teddy bears, did you guys see the trailer yet for Ted 2? Gonna go see that for sure.
No, I didn't.
I
Check
have
that
not
out
seen
later
it,
on.
but that is my brother-in-law. He loves that movie. I have not seen the trailer for the second one yet, but he loved the first one.
How could you not, man? I mean, But yeah, check out that trailer after the show. Anywho, since we're getting close to it, Eldon, what have you been playing on or off of OUYA? What are you doing besides developing? You've got to have some free time to yourself. It can't all be about developing.
Well, yeah, actually, the other day I went online and I got Oddworld off the OUYA store, and I've actually been really enjoying that game. It's quirky. The chickens are a bit much. Constantly with the chickens. But other than that, it's a very fun game. I'm very pleased with that game. It is running around trying to figure out how to capture people without completely obliterating them. It's a lot more challenging than it looks like.
So what's with the chickens? I haven't actually played it yet. I haven't had a chance to sit down.
Well, basically all the characters in the game, except for yourself and the bad guys, at least that I've come across so far, are all chickens. So, like, the town is full of, like, these, like, humanistic chickens, and, like, you're running around and you hear, like, the little clucking sound from time to time, and it's, I mean, I like chickens as much as the next guy, but, it would have been nice to see a variance, maybe, a cat person or a donkey, though I guess the cat and the chickens probably wouldn't have gotten along very well. That would have been a whole other game.
Do these chickens attack you?
No, the chickens are really just so far have just been the townsfolk. So the townsfolk you're running it, you have like your general store, your bounty. The doctor, I don't know what he is. He's some beetle looking thing. I don't know. But the rest of the people, they're chickens. They're just
Interesting.
picture like a humanoid chicken that got lost in the wild, wild west and, happened to escape Colonel Sanders.
That's kind of creepy.
That's exactly what you're dealing with while you're in the town.
There's one thing about game developers that I've noticed is that I'm pretty sure that some game developers are on some pretty awesome drugs of some kind, legitimate or not. I can't say, but sometimes I look at these games and I'm like, wow, man. Either you're on something or you got like a super vivid imagination. I don't know which one it is, but my God.
Yeah, you wonder how they sleep sometimes, man. I don't know. I'd be afraid. Just I can't go to sleep. Just you got the whole Nightmare on Elm Street going on. I can't go to sleep. No, can't go to
So-
sleep. The chickens will get me.
And then in their haze and they're not sleeping, they take it and we've all been there. We know what it's like to make decisions at 3:30 in the morning. It usually doesn't work out very well. So they take that that mindset and then they put it towards developing a game because they can't sleep. See, and then we come up with games where people are chickens. And it makes total sense at the time, though.
Yeah. If you put it that way, I suppose it really does make a whole lot of sense why they all end up chickens. I guess we can't blame everything on indigestion, right? Yeah, there you go. There
exactly. You go. So I've got one last question, then I'll let Brandon finish up here. But I keep going back to to the discussion about the future of what you're going to be working with. Now we've gone over what people say they want from you. We've gone over what you would like to see. What are you actually planning on doing in let's say the next 6 months?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot here. Well, I'll tell you what. One thing
else.
Yeah, one thing I definitely want to have done in the next 6 months is I want to write a background service that basically works just like the push to OUYA feature does on the OUYA website, but I want to make it basically website agnostic. You could be on Joe Blow's website and say for example, and I got to give him a plug, Heroes of Umbra. I love that game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not on the OUYA store yet, okay, but so the only way you can get it is to download it from their website and sideload it. Well, what I want to do is write a background service that runs on the OUYA that polls a website every so often. It's going to be password protected, all that good stuff. And what it'll let you do is when you're in your browser, you can copy and paste the APK URL into your part of the website, the login, the website that I'll set up. And that'll basically set up a queue for you, a download queue. And the service is going to sit in the background, just like the OUYA one does. And if it sees one in the queue that you want to download, it'll download it to the OUYA, bring up the installer message. When it's done installing, you'll have to click install because unfortunately it won't be a system app, so I can't do it in the background like OUYA does. But this will be the next best thing. And so I want to get that done because I think that'll make side loading a whole lot easier and a lot more friendly.
Wow.
That is awesome. And I know for a fact you got at least 2 websites you can count on to implement that right away.
Exactly.
Awesome. I'll definitely be purchasing that one.
Yeah, I want to get that going because that'll be great because all those APKs that are floating out there. I found a great one on Google Play the other day. It was a TV configurator. I needed to configure a TV, and unfortunately, the OUYA doesn't have anything like that, so I had to pull it from there, sideload it, and all that other good stuff, and worked great. Worked great as a configurator, but it would just be a lot easier to push it over just with one click on your browser, or maybe 2 clicks if you have to log in. Something like that.
Awesome.
That's pretty awesome. And I did lie. I'm gonna ask just one last question because I just noticed this by looking at the YouTube video. So, and I'm really just doing this to either poke fun or get a real answer. I'm not sure which one yet. But if you go to the Discover Store and you click on this awesome bundle here for the Modder's Delight, which, by the way, in case you're just joining us, $3.99 on sale. Go get it right now. And you scroll down, Well, you won't tell them that, man. You want them to think that's a good deal, and they get it right now. Jesus. Advertise.
Impulse buy.
And then it goes for sale for free next week. Oh, I just purchased it, and now it's free.
If you scroll down on the description there, kind of towards the bottom there, underneath the on-screen alert about... it says demo/trial. This app comes as a fully functional application and will remain that for 7 days, after which you'll need to buy a license to continue using it. Is there, in fact, a demo trial of this, or was that a bring over from perhaps the single applications that just never got taken out of the bundle description?
That's a good question. I think what they did is just a copy and paste from the 2 applications because that should be in both Booty Call and On-Screen Alerts, the individual applications. But what you can do is you could go on and download the 2 applications individually and then try them for 7 days. And if you decide you want to buy both of them, buy the bundle, and it will unlock those 2 applications.
And you heard it here, folks. He just called Ouya lazy. I didn't say it. He did.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. No, I'm sure that they're very busy. Jared was great because I had a whole lot of questions. We actually had a huge back and forth email string because we were trying to figure out a name. I would come up with something completely off the wall. They tell me, can you bring it down just a little bit? A little bit. I would come with something, instead of off the wall, I brought it from the ceiling this time. Jared said, yeah, that's not much of a help. Can you bring it down a little bit more? So yeah, it was a very fun experience. It was very good making that bundle. It was definitely worth a few laughs.
Awesome.
All right, Brandon, it's all you, man. You ask what you got to. I'm gonna sit here quietly.
No, I thought you wanted me to bring it home.
Oh, you can bring it home too.
Stick a fork in it. We're done.
I just thought I was talking too much, so I wanted to stop and give you at least the last 10 minutes should you need it. But if not, and as long as Eldon doesn't have anything to add, I think that we've got ourselves a pretty decent conversation going, and it's been a pretty damn fun episode, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, like always.
Definitely has been. Definitely has. One thing I do want to add real quick. One thing. With on-screen alerts, if you head to my website and go out check out the on-screen alerts page, there is a huge amount of information, including the UDP packet format, a lot of recipes for a website called ifttt.com that you can use to link up with Pushbullet that allows you to send all kinds of messages to. There's a few recipes there that you just click on and add and you're good to go. So make sure if you're interested in the app, check out that site. There's a lot more information there than there is in the Discover store.
Wait a minute. We didn't even show people how to even do something on the on-screen alerts, how to set it up. So let's do that real quick.
We blew right by it, didn't we?
Yes, we did. So
remember how I did get that tweet together in like 5 seconds before this episode started? You got 8 minutes to get this going.
Oh yeah, we can do it. We already did it.
I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
So you're gonna need to set up a free account on pushbullet.com, and once you set that up, you're actually gonna see your little icon. You're gonna sign in. You can either sign in or with your Google Plus account or your Facebook account. Once you get in there, you're going to go to your icon and go to account settings, and there's going to be an access code. That's going to be the token that you need to put in on-screen alerts so that all your alerts can get pushed to your OUYA. So I'll let Eldon take it away from there. I don't know if this is going to be showing like the same time. There might be a lag on the YouTube video. Probably.
Oh, the video and the audio? I got you. No problem.
Yeah. So.
No problem.
I'll let you talk, and I'll try to see if it shows. I don't know. Let's just do it. It might be lag.
Right. All right, no problem. Yeah, as he said, pushbullet.com. It's a free service. You sign up for that, and you get an access token, and you'll plug that into on-screen alerts. It is a very long token, and some of the letters and numbers can be very ambiguous. So make sure you copy it, put it in the notepad. Try a couple of different fonts. I think Verdana was the best one that I found as far as being able to read it, and make sure it's a 1, not an L or an I or anything like that. So if you do that, just to make sure you get the right number. From there, once you have that in there, another site that I recommend pairing with it, as I mentioned, was ifttt.com. They allow you to hook into just all kinds of stuff, RSS feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, your Android phone, all kinds of other devices and websites. You can actually monitor them for information, and then have it go right to your Pushbullet account, which will in turn go right to your OUYA. For example, I have, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, I have my Twitter shows up there. If I'm mentioned, it'll show up on my TV, Facebook feed, all kinds of good stuff. And again, any changes you make on ifttt do not need to be verified or double done, I should say, through on-screen alerts. That is all on ifttt. On-screen alerts is just a one-time you set it up, start it, and at that point, it'll start whenever you start up your OUYA.
All right, so you guys should probably see my on-screen alerts, and there's just if you're gonna use UDP port on your local network, you can set that's already set up by default, I think, right, Eldon?
That's correct. It's set at port 8080, and whenever you start the service, it'll start listening. There's not a different service for the push bullet and the UDP. It's the same service. So once you start one, you're starting them both. And again, if you're not going to use the UDP, don't worry about it. It's not a drag on your system. It uses next to no memory. So I mean, you really shouldn't notice it running in the background at all. I play movies all the time on mine. I was just playing Oddworld. I didn't notice any slowdown at all. So,
All right. So right now I'm entering my token, and you guys can see it because I'm gonna change it later. You're not gonna start spamming me on here.
yeah, that would be funny. Start playing your game. Hey man, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Caught the show. Hey man, love the show. Hey, what's going on? What'd you have for lunch?
All right. So yeah.
But yes, keep your token a secret. Do not give it to your auntie. Do not give it to your grandma. Do not give it to the internet.
Oh yeah. You will get trolled.
It's like the episode where we were showing off the cheap cast type thing that YouTube, where you can stream it to your OUYA using your phone. And I saw his code and started starting up videos on it. He's like, "What's going on? I didn't do that."
That's good stuff.
So I just saved my token. So it said saved updated token. Now you have to, under service status, you want to start service. And
Yeah, though, if the blue light is on, then the service is running.
And then I just hit saved again. You don't have to do that, but it just said that it's updating the token again and restarting the service. So yeah, once you install it or set up your token, that's it. It's done. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a test, and we're gonna go over here. And Eldon, you mentioned that it pushes or listens for something every minute, right?
Yeah, it polls every minute for a new message. I contemplated going every 30 seconds, but I thought every minute would be fine. Especially, you don't want to be constantly hammering somebody else's server, especially a free service. They are giving it to you for free, so we should be polite. And I mean, a minute delay really isn't going to be that bad when it comes to pulling from the internet.
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and push this. And ooh, it came instantly for me.
Yeah, sometimes you time it just right. That check comes through, and then it pops right up.
So I tried putting the icon. It's the TV semicolon, or is it
two semicolons? Two semicolons.
Okay, let me try that again.
Yeah. TV semicolon semicolon, and then whatever you want for the title. And for those listening, that's actually the format for the packets. Like I said, it's a really simple format. It's delimited by two semicolons for each section. So when you take a look at that on the website, my progressivethink.in website, it lays that out and tells you. Plus, you'll see the icons that are available. And if you have icons and you want them in the app, please send them to me. Make sure they're high resolution. I try to do, I believe the images are 256 by 256. That way I can scale them down appropriately.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you one for the OUYAcast, and
there you go.
I set a IFTTT for to alert us saying that we're live on the OUYAcast every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. And make sure you go into IFTT, publish that recipe so others can add it using that add button.
Oh yeah, and then it'll have the OUYAcast icon also.
Yep, it sure will.
So we'll have to get that to you. So let's push this one more time, and this time we've probably got to wait less than a minute, hopefully. Do 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 do. So awesome. And there's an update coming. If you guys already purchased on-screen alerts, there's an update coming. Eldon and I had a little snafu yesterday, but we figured it out.
Yep.
Back when
if you happen to have the date and time wrong on your OUYA, and by wrong, like years in the past, I don't know how far yours was set, but I had to set mine pretty far back.
All right, so yeah, I don't know if you can see it now. It showed up the little TV icon, and it said we are live on the OUYAcast. So
awesome.
It is working for me now. Yeah, I had back in the episode, Steve. Remember we had change the date to go back in time or go ahead in the future for the advent calendar, so we can get all those
Mm-hmm.
games. I never changed
Sure.
it back, so
Ah,
yesterday we were
So
trying this.
yeah.
We were trying it and it wasn't working because it has to do with the SSL and trying to.
Yeah, the certificates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically because the time it stamps, the date stamp was wrong on the OUYA. It was reading the certificate is invalid.
All right.
So it was refusing to communicate, as a good program should. It shouldn't communicate if the certificate's invalid. And but what I did is I will have a new version. I'm waiting for approval. Once that goes through, you'll actually get a message on your OUYA that says, "Hey, this happened. Please check your calendar, your date and time on your OUYA."
Awesome.
so J&K got the last laugh after all, huh?
There you go.
Awesome. So yeah, that's it for this week on the OUYAcast. Thank you, Brian, Rosie, Tozio, everyone else out there, everyone at OUYA that listens. We know you listen.
And especially Eldon. Thank you for being a guest on the show once more.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
He's pretty soon gonna have to be a regular with all the apps that he's coming out with.
That's right. And to answer the question that was asked in the chat, we are going to have our second OUYAns edition of the OUYAcast, which is going to be next Sunday. It'll be our 1 year anniversary of having the OUYAcast. So if you would like to be involved, play some games, and just kind of hang out, be a party basically, make sure that you guys send a tweet to OUYA Central TV. He will be coordinating the invites. Understand that we've only got probably room for about maybe 6 people, including ourselves, so like 4 to 5 other people. So if you want to get in, make sure that you message him first, and we'll see if we can get you in on this one.
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, that's it. Definitely will. You guys know who you are, and that will definitely get you in here. But yeah, that's it for this week. Join us next week on our anniversary episode. You can join us every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Brandon from OUYACentral.tv.
And I'm Steve from OUYABrew.com.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.